I get more in every morning. You hit me while I record. That shit better be important. No jewelry on, I'm charmed. No makeup, shorty gorgeous. Last things on my whites, I bought me another pair. And I don't expect them to understand me, cause bitch, I'm real. I do this shit for my brother them, so they can put down the scale. I run through a bag and I get it back.
What's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast.
Industry's Most Wanted.
Hey, and I got my bro in the building. I feel like I ain't seen you in a hot minute. It's been like, 5, 6 years?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Hold on. We got to get you. There we go. Talk to me.
It's been a minute, but we back.
Facts. Give me some love. Boom. Introduce yourself.
Fly Deezy, man. Straight from the foe. VA to the A. We back. Fly Life Worldwide. The man.
All that. Straight like that, man. Fly Deezy, I appreciate you being here. We've been rocking for a long time. Again, it's probably been 5 years at least since we've done this, so we got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, for sure.
People got to know your journey. That's important as an artist, and your fans, they always want to know like how you got started. So, break that down for us.
Man, just a kid, man, in love with music. Just wanting to put my vision and my thoughts out there to the public,
Yeah.
It was my outlet for peace, to let the world know what I got going on.
Would you say coming up in VA had an influence? Because VA has created superstars,
right?
Musicians, producers, etc. Did that have any influence on you at all?
Yeah, just the fact of knowing that people have come from where I come from and have made it is an influence.
Yeah, that's motivation right there, for real.
Yeah. Like I said, you just take it for what it is and use it as motivation.
Absolutely. So growing up, before music was that passion, were you like aspiring to do something different? Were you into sports? Were you into something else?
I've always played sports.
Okay.
Since the age of 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But, music was always what I was into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of sports you was playing?
Baseball.
Okay.
I was like that too.
Yeah, that's dope,
football,
man.
Football, basketball.
Okay. I think it's important. I'm a big advocate of, kids playing sports because I really feel like the fundamentals of being on a team help you later in life.
It does. From discipline to organization, to sportsmanship, learning how to pick the next up, keep going.
Yes, exactly. Learning how to be a team player, learning how to be punctual, like all of that stuff that we need as an adult.
Right.
In business, personal lives, etc. So about what age did you really start, doing music, writing music, record music?
Writing music was probably 12, 13, but I didn't really start making music till I was about 15.
Okay, so take us back.
14, 15.
12 years old, little Fly Deezy. What you was writing about at 12?
Man, just like what I was seeing other rappers doing, like flossing, grinding. Money.
Yeah.
It was always a dream.
The lifestyle that you wanted to live. I get it. Understood. Because at 12, you haven't really experienced life yet.
Exactly.
So you have to have a dream, by watching other people and be like, I want to be like that one day.
Yeah. That was the vision back then.
So I know you definitely younger than me. You know what I'm saying? So take us back, to that maybe 12 to 15-year-old Fly Deezy. Who were you listening to?
Oh, man. I grew up in a household of music, so
okay.
I would listen to everything from like your Marvin Gaye, your Luther Vandross. I came up in the era with DMX, 50. Everything really. A lot of artists. So many to name, but
right, absolutely. I always like to know that backstory before we start talking about it because everybody's journey is different. I have some people to say they were getting in trouble, they was in the streets, so music was their outlet. Mm-hmm. Some people were incarcerated at a young age, so that was their outlet. You know what I'm saying? But you grew up in a household just where music was just a thing, right?
Yeah. All around. The whole family for real. Sports was a thing too, and that kept me grounded, just being around people, having a strong household, whether it was, we didn't have it or we did have it at the time, whatever, it kept me grounded.
Absolutely. Most definitely. Do you have siblings?
I got a brother.
Okay. Was he into music at all?
Nah.
No?
Nah, he's into the sports.
Okay.
I was more like, I played sports to kill time.
I got you.
I didn't really like the sports. He actually was into the sports.
Okay. Does he support your music?
He does. Yeah, he support me whatever I do.
What about the rest of the family? They on board with it?
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
I think mom and pops, they see what I do, and I think they they respect it now, but back then, they wanted me to take the go to work, go to school.
Yeah.
That route. But nowadays, they see what I'm doing.
They see that you're actually pursuing it like seriously. It's not just something that you're dabbling in. It's not a hobby for you. Like, this is something you serious about.
Yeah, they see it, and they pay attention now on social media. So,
okay. Yeah. So you got to be mindful of what you out here posting.
Yeah, right.
Mom Duke said, boy, you better take that down.
Yeah, she gonna ask. Yeah, she the one. She gonna ask.
But that's good though. We all need someone like that, whether it's our mom or a friend or an OG, somebody that's gonna keep us grounded.
Yeah.
And keep us in line, and for you, it sounds like your mom does that for you.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah, she be on me,
No, that's dope. And I think, with what we do within music, people who don't pursue music as a career, they don't understand the business. So sometimes it takes them a little minute to get on board, which is understandable.
Right.
Like I remember my parents always asking me when I first started, we're like, well, what exactly is it that you do? And how do you get paid? Like, they didn't understand. So I had to really break it down. But now that they understand, it's like, boom, completely supportive.
Yeah. I mean, and I could take it back to when, my first actual music check, from streaming or whatever. I mean, this is way back, probably 5-6 years ago. And my mom asked me, she's like, do you get paid for what you're doing?
Yeah.
You going to do these shows? And, by that time, I was under BMI and everything.
Yeah.
And she's asking me, you get paid for these shows? Like, you get paid for doing your music? I'm like, I just showed her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, dang,
Yeah. They don't understand exactly how all that works because, if you have your publishing together, there's performance royalties.
Exactly.
So, yes, you can get paid as long as you're at a venue that's registered, which I think nowadays most of them are required to carry a BMI and ASCAP license in order to even play music in that establishment.
Correct.
But a lot of these artists out here, and I'm glad you brought that up, don't understand that they can get paid through their publishing company for those performances that they're doing, even if they're not getting paid directly from the promoter.
Right. Yeah. Now, publishing is important, because a lot of artists, they say, oh, I want to get the real bag. First, get your stuff in order.
Yes.
From the ground up, make sure you legit first.
Absolutely.
So when you go to these places, you can get your bread for your content.
Right.
Being featured on content.
Absolutely. Because you are the brand.
Right.
You are the brand. And what I think is so dope is more and more platforms are requiring that people carry a license. For example, I have my internet station, the Hype 87.3. I was required to buy a BMI and ASCAP license, which was not cheap. However, I'm glad that I did because now artists that play on my station, even though it's internet based, they're collecting royalties off of it. So it makes sense, for me to say, hey, yeah, you got to throw me a little money to play your music, but you get money on the back. You're making that money back.
Right.
So how was it when you first got that check? Talk to us about it. First check.
At the time, it was a lot, because, I was working, punching the clock. So to me, it was like extra. So
yeah,
it wasn't much, but I probably spent it on like some shoes, clothes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, listen, in the beginning stages, it's not going to be a lot, but it's a lot to us because it's rewarding.
Right.
We're getting paid for the stuff that we love to do, and there's no better feeling. Going and punching that clock on that 9 to 5, most of us don't want to do that. Slick. But we have to because we have to pay our bills. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then it gets to a point where, okay, this music stuff is now funding it.
Exactly.
That's the goal.
And that's one of the best feelings. Being able to pay bills and take care of your family and, put that bread back behind yourself.
Absolutely.
It's a great feeling.
Yes. Let's talk about that a little bit because, I've been independent since like 2014. I moved here 2013, 2014. I lost my job. I was like, but it was just my way of God saying, you know what, we got bigger things in store for you. So I never look back. I've been running my business full time since 2014. But it really taught me about budgeting. It taught me about when I make money, rather than going out there just blowing it on materialistic stuff, you got to treat yourself from time to time,
sure.
But a lot of that's got to go right back into your business.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people don't understand that. Artists, business owners, they don't understand that. Sometimes you have to put out to get back. And I think that's one of the things you should focus on early on.
Yes.
Because in the long run, you'll see the difference.
No, absolutely you will. And with what we do, you and I and everybody in this room, when you're involved in the music business, this is the type of business it's always evolving. It's always changing. So we have to stay on top of it. I'm constantly like taking online courses and getting new certifications and looking on YouTube, watching videos, because I want to stay up with the latest and greatest of everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's, and myself, I'm down here on a press run, promoting my album, but in between this interview and that interview, I'm still working on school assignments.
Yeah, there you go.
So trying to keep that up so I can get my degree in business.
Got to. We have to stay working. So before we talk about the album, let's talk about your brand. You know what I'm saying?
Fly Life Worldwide.
Yeah, I like the hat first and foremost.
Thank you. I appreciate
you
that.
Rocking that. Looks dope. Looks fire.
Thank
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Got you. The whole thing matches.
Yeah.
The whole ensemble. What do men call it? You know what I'm saying? An ensemble. I don't want to insult you. Like, is your fit? Like, what?
Nah, I just call it my style. It's just my fit.
Yeah, it looks fly for sure.
Yeah.
When did you establish the brand?
Well, back in, I say 2014, 2015.
Okay.
That's when I stamped it as Fly Life Entertainment.
It's been a little minute then.
Yeah, so that's when it was a business.
Yeah.
Before that, I was screaming that. But
right,
it
absolutely.
took me some time to understand the game, make it legit.
Right.
But this year, I revamped and renamed everything Fly Life Worldwide.
Okay.
Simply because it was entertainment, but I do more than entertainment now.
Right.
Merch, videography, photography.
Right.
About to start doing artist development, working with other artists, building other artists, investing in other artists. So I wanted to make it a worldwide thing.
I love it. I love that. Let's dive into that a little bit, because I know you're still young, but you've been doing this for a while. So you are somewhat seasoned in this business, or you are seasoned in this business. Yeah. And I think at some point in time for every artist, not to say that you have to stop creating music, but you're going to want to start pursuing signing other artists, or maybe managing other artists, or helping other artists. So I'm glad that you're diving into that, because you're able to take what you've learned and put it behind another artist.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I've actually gained the interest in, is building other artists, working with other artists.
Yeah.
Just because I know what it takes, but I'm guilty of putting other things first and not really understanding to do for myself sometimes.
Yeah, I understand.
But I'm learning. I took those as lessons, and I'm moving forward.
Absolutely. I think that's something a lot of people are guilty of. I know I am, but for me, it started creating a lot of anxiety in my own personal life, because I felt like I was putting everything and everyone else first and not looking out for me. And you and I discussed before we went live, you and I both had a similar situation health-wise that happened. And
right.
Sometimes that can happen because we default on taking care of us, and we're so busy looking out for other people.
Right.
But that's God's way of shaking us, saying, hold on, take care of you.
Yeah. And I definitely felt that. And I believe that, I believe in that. And that's when I said, it's things that I need to get together, and focus on what's ahead of me.
Of course. Absolutely. So do you have any artists that you're currently working with right now?
Not currently. I do plan on having some bigger features in the works.
Yeah.
But not so individually working with right now,
yeah.
other than myself.
Understood. Absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, you got to make sure that everything that you want to do is all the way together before you really start helping other people. Yeah. Talk to us about the film production side.
That's one of the things I jumped into probably 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
It started off with just knowing the artist, wanting to help him. So I filmed his first video.
Yeah.
And just started jumping. And photography came with it.
Okay.
And it's just one of the things I fell in love with, whether it was doing concerts, all the way up to now I'm doing weddings and
that's dope.
And, bigger events like that.
So was that something that you ever earlier on seen yourself pursuing? Or did it just come by default because you did it for somebody?
It just came by default.
Yeah.
Like I would have never pictured myself shooting a wedding, but it was one of those things where I knew somebody, and I guess other people saw the work. And it just went from there.
I think film, you and I obviously both love music, but I think there's a lot more opportunity in film.
Yeah. Where I'm from, it's a small town, big dreams, but there's guys out there working on movies.
Yeah. Right.
And it's crazy what you can do with that camera.
Absolutely. Like everything needs a camera behind it, whether it's a business that might need a commercial,
Right.
a wedding needs photos and video. You know, whatever. What I'm doing needs video. You know what I'm saying? Photos and all that. So I think it's big business. So is that something that you see yourself putting out there longevity? Like you're really going to continue to pursue that?
Yeah, I think the camera thing will stick. Because believe it or not, that's where most of the money comes from.
No, I do believe it.
Yeah. So I mean, especially at this point in my career, that's you know, that's where it's at right now.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's dope. So with picking up the camera, how has that helped you within your music career?
I mean, it basically just gives me motivation. You know, I don't touch on, you know, telling people, you know, what I make.
Yeah.
But most of the money I get from the camera stuff, I don't even really spend.
Right.
You know, it's mostly, I mean, I have kids, I have a family.
Of course.
But I mean, I do things for the community.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's food drives, food pantries.
Yeah.
School supplies.
Yeah.
Christmas giveaways.
You're a blessing.
Yeah. So a lot of that goes towards that. You know. So I mean, that's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what I do it for.
Absolutely. Yeah. It does feel good when you can help other people and you're doing it with genuine intent, not because you're doing it for clout.
Right.
Because a lot of people do that type of stuff for clout.
Yeah.
Which irks my soul, but it is what it is. But when you're doing it with genuine intent, like, man, I really want to help other people, God's going to bless you. Because we don't get our blessings from no man. We get our blessings from God, right?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
So when you out here helping people, that's why you're being blessed abundantly, because you're doing right by people.
Right.
Most definitely. Talk to us about this new project you got out that's charting, it's doing big numbers.
Yeah. So first day out, I mean, it's, you know, it hit the iTunes, was like the top 200 chart. It was at the bottom, you know, like 195.
Bro, you was there.
But, yeah.
Period. I don't care if it's 200 or 1, you was there.
Yeah.
That's
so,
an accomplishment.
Yeah. So, you know, I caught that, and I got a whiff for that, and you know, right now it's bittersweet, you know, because I'm coming off that stint of being sick.
Yeah.
You know, and when I came home, you know, I just jumped straight on the project.
Yeah.
And it was 1 out of 3. You know, I got 3 right now, but that was 1 out of 3. It was a lot of pain, you know, making it physically, and mentally, you know, because it was some songs on there I could barely really rap, you know, because of the pain that I was going through.
Yeah, you went through a lot, bro.
You know? So it was kind of like, you know, it was motivating to see myself back in that action. So that's kind of what drove me. But it was fun making it, you know, and I'm liking the feedback so far. How
long was it in the works?
Man, I started that project last summer.
Okay, so you took your time with it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And like I said, I dropped a project before that called Just Cuz, and that was basically just because I was trying to get back. Just cuz,
yeah, I get it.
So, you know,
self-explanatory.
Yeah, I dropped that first, and then that's when I was like, okay, it's time to lock in on the next one.
Yeah. So the current project, probably when people listen to that versus your other project, they're going to hear more passion. Yeah. It's more heartfelt, more pain because of everything that you've been through.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to dive too deep. You know, again, we spoke a little bit before we started, you know, having this conversation, and you went through a period where you were down because of a health situation. Let's just briefly touch on that. You know, going through that, I know we all go through stuff in life, like losing people we love or stuff personally happens. What positive did you take from that?
Just to not take life for granted.
There you go.
You know, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And definitely be appreciative of the people in your corner.
Yeah. That's when you learn who there and who not.
Yeah. And that definitely was the case.
Yes.
And so that's what I learned.
Because we sometimes are at our worst. Like, at our worst, you know, I ain't even gonna talk about it on camera, but during that time I spent in the hospital, I was at my super worst, where I didn't want anybody to be there, but the people who cared about me the most was there. It wasn't even a thing for them.
It really be like that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then, like you said, it just makes you grateful and appreciate life that much more. Right. So you probably poured a lot of yourself into this album.
Yeah. And you know, it's a lot of songs that didn't make it that's gonna be in, you know, come out in the future. And that's simply because, like what I touched on, working with bigger artists.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where we at with that.
So on the project, you said it's 20 songs?
Yeah.
That's a lot of records. Which one touches you the most? So people, they're gonna pick their favorite. The people always have their favorite.
Yeah.
But which one out of those 20 really touches you the most?
I'm gonna have to say probably Lil Bag.
Yeah. Talk to us. Break it down for us.
I think like Lil Bag, basically I come in, I'm like, the way it's set up over here, I need more than a Lil Bag.
Yeah.
And that's simple, but it's straight to the point.
Yeah.
It's what's going on in my life right now.
Yeah.
I'm not focused on whatever's going on over there. I'm focused on what's going on over here.
Yeah.
And I'm doing what's best for me in my situation, not to compete with nobody else.
There you go. Just yourself. Just compete with yourself.
Right. And that's what I face every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, your process throughout the years that you've been doing music, because you've been doing music for a little minute, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Would you say that you now simplify things, but in a positive way? And I'll maybe elaborate on what I mean. Like, I'm very guilty of overanalyzing stuff and overdoing stuff, and all it does is cause anxiety for me. And not to mention that other people don't want that. We're in an era now where people want something quick, fast, straight to the point. Boom. Mm-hmm. Would you say that your music has transitioned some from when you first started doing it to now, like where it's still good music, but you're making it more for what people want to hear today?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I sit down just like I'm sitting right here to make my music.
Yeah.
I spend less time going to a studio and more time working at home.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm a lot more comfortable.
Right.
I can take my time.
There you go.
If I don't like it, I can just take it off. I don't have to worry about doing it in time for that man to go home, for me to go home. But I feel like it's a lot more convenient.
Yeah.
And it is like straight to the point now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Like I just, that was something that me personally, I had to like get over, because I was the type of person that I try to dissect stuff like a damn scientist. And I'm like, stop doing that. Get out your own head. And really, because like I would get anxiety. Like I would lay in bed at night and just think about everything. I'm like, I got to stop doing this. Get out your own head. And when you learn to simplify stuff, but still deliver them a good product, man, it's a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I spend a lot of time mostly listening to beats.
Yeah.
Not really as far as writing it. And I used to do a lot of that back in time.
Yeah.
I used to write a lot. But like I said, being at home is more convenient. You can just punch in. So I don't really feel the need to sit there and write it.
I think it's important as an artist, you have to have a creative space at your house.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if you roll out of bed one morning, you might have something you need to get off your chest. You can just roll up to the mic and lay it down, because whatever emotion you're feeling in that moment is going to be different by the time you book a studio session. Mm-hmm. Might be tomorrow before you get to the studio because your engineer is booked up or whatever. Mm-hmm. At least if you can record yourself. Do you mix and master your stuff, or do you record yourself and send it out for the engineering?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I do some of my stuff and I send some out.
But for the most part, you recording everything yourself.
Recording, yeah.
That's dope too, because like you said, you're in your comfort zone. You don't feel pressed for time. You don't have someone sitting there watching the clock saying, "Okay, your time's up in 15 minutes."
Yeah, and a lot of the times, artists, they spend buku money going to these studios, and most of the time you're not really paying for the mix and master anyway.
No, you're just you're paying for the recording session.
Yeah,
that's it.
So you could take that and invest in your setup and then just pay mixing and mastering.
Exactly. Bro, say it again. Like,
like that's legit. Like, and it took me time, to understand that. Because when you first come in the game, you just like, I'm going to a studio.
Right.
You ain't really looking at like, until you learn, like, damn, I'm putting all this money into this, and I could do it this way.
Well, but I think sometimes artists want to do it just for the look, for the gram. They want to get the little videos, and I think that's cool. Every now and again, you might book a studio session just for the look of it. Yeah. But for the most part, you need to have a setup in your crib. You know what I'm saying? That way you can be in your comfort zone, work when you want to, for however long that you want to. What would you say, and that sounds like it was definitely a great investment for you. Would you say that's one of the most important investments that you made so far in music?
Yeah, definitely. The home setup, and probably like the camera stuff too. But yeah, definitely the music. Having your own setup, the mic, all your equipment. Yeah,
absolutely. For any artists that are just starting out, man, drop a gem on them.
Man, focus on yourself, man. You're gonna make mistakes. Learn from them. They lessons.
That's right.
don't worry about what that man got going on or what that man think about you. You know, do what's best for you in your situation. Focus on bettering yourself. You know, it take time sometimes. You know, they say when things happen fast, you know, it don't have that longevity.
That's big facts.
Yeah, a lot of the time. So, you know, just take your time. And what works for me is taking small steps instead of big steps.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you're gonna regret. You're gonna learn from it, but sometimes you make a mistake. We all do.
Of course, we're human.
But definitely, grind, stay on your 10, and just move positive. And grind, hustle.
What does grind mean to Fly Deezy?
And grind mean getting up every day and getting it, no matter what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? Shedding the light on whatever's going on in your family. You know, just getting that bag.
Yeah. You just you just jumped off the porch. Shout out Dirty Glove Bastard. What was that experience like for you?
That was a good experience. It was good to be on a platform like that. That I've seen a lot of my favorite artists.
Of course,
on that same porch.
Yeah. On that, facts. Did you sign it?
Yeah, I didn't sign it. But,
gotta go back over there, lay down the autograph, bro.
But I was definitely networking and people was in and out. So definitely trying to meet different people and see what's going on.
That's what it's all about, man, is our network is our net worth. One thing that I've learned about this business wholeheartedly is that those relationships are going to put you in places that money cannot.
Right.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Like somebody can't walk. If somebody got an a-hole attitude and they just have this sense of arrogance, they can't spend enough money with me to make me want to work with them. Their money's no good over here.
Right.
Because it's going to stress us out.
Yeah. And that's what basically how I learned how to move as an artist.
Yeah.
Who to move with.
Right.
If you're not investing like me, if you're not thinking like me, if you're not moving like me, respecting your surroundings like me, I can't move with you.
No, it doesn't make sense.
So that's pretty much how I carry myself.
Yeah.
That's what Fly Like Worldwide is all about.
Because you have worked years to develop not only who you are as a man, but your brand.
Right.
And there's other people out there who want to associate themselves with you because they see what you got going on, but all that's going to do is tarnish your brand, or they're going to make a dumb move that could potentially put you in a bad situation.
Right.
So you have to be mindful of who you allow in. I think that's why as we get older, our circle gets smaller. Mm-hmm. Because we're mindful of who we associate ourselves with.
And you learn, for me, for example, if I'm gonna invest in myself, I expect the people around me to do the same.
Of course. It's got to make sense.
Right.
Yes.
Especially if you're an artist. Where do you expect to go if you don't?
Right. No, absolutely. It's like, are they a liability or are they an asset?
Right.
If you bring someone into your situation, like, for example, an artist wants to do a record with you, right? And you put them on your song as a feature, you can't be the only one out here investing and put money in marketing, promo, video, and they're just sitting back reaping the benefits. It don't work like that.
It don't work that way.
But there's a lot of artists who have that mentality. Yeah. Slick, for real, for real. Tell everybody one more time the name of the album, where it's available.
The Man. It's out on all platforms, all major platforms. Merch coming. Way a long list of moves. I don't speak on what moves I'm gonna make till I make them.
Yeah.
But I got a lot in the works.
Got you. And the merch is available, you said, on the website?
Yeah, flylikeworldwide.com, or you can contact me directly on any of my social media platforms.
What all do you got available right now?
T-shirts, hats, sets, shorts. There's going to be sweatsuits coming, utility vests, socks.
I was about to say, where the socks at?
Yeah, I got them. They actually in the process.
I like some fly socks.
Yeah, they should be ready for me when I touch back to VA.
Okay.
But, so much, but I'm gonna look out for you though.
Yeah, you gotta have a little something for everybody.
Yeah.
Because some people like this, some people like that. That's really dope. And we about to switch seasons.
Yeah.
So the sweatsuits or track suits, whatever people want to call them, hoodies, sweatshirts, all that.
All that's coming.
Absolutely, man. Before we get up out of here, I know there's a lot of people who are really supporting your movement, showing you love. Look at this one over here, and what do you want to say to them right now?
Man, keep going, that's what I'm doing, grind, keep faith, keep God first, look at your surroundings, make sure they got the best interest for you, and just keep your head up and keep moving.
Man, that's big facts, bro. Well, 3 things that we're going to do before we get up out of here. 1, tell them one more time. I know you just gave them the website, but what is all your social platforms?
Instagram at Fly_Deezy, FLY_DEEZY. Twitter at Fly Deezy. Facebook, Fly Deezy. YouTube, Fly Life Worldwide. You can find all my content videos there.
Yeah. There you go. Make sure y'all tap in, tune in. When you hit that YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
For sure.
Go ahead and comment. Give them a thumbs up.
Notification bell.
All that. Yeah. One of the hardest things to do in what you and I do is get people to support.
Right.
It's just people got busy lives. So we're grateful for the ones that do.
Yep. Thankful and love them. Love them all.
Absolutely. Most definitely. Who you want to shout out to? Man,
shout out to my family. Shout out to the Buck, 434. Everybody that's supporting me, anybody that support me for that matter.
Yeah.
Because it matters,
Absolutely. Most definitely. We're grateful for all of it. Yeah. Last but not least, we live what?
Industry's most wanted.
On the Industry's Most Wanted podcast, I got my bro with me today. We've been rocking for years now. Shout out Fly Deezy in the building.
Yeah.
Let everybody know what makes you the Industry's Most Wanted.
Industry's Most Wanted, man. Come on, man. You listen to me. I keep it real with everything. I'm coming hard, never consider myself the best, but I know I'm one of them. And I'm coming from VA, one of VA's hottest.